All right, welcome for anybody who got the notification so far. So I was going to go through and record a video for some of the different resources that we have on our resources page and some of my favorite stuff that's out there, and post that on like as a YouTube short or something along those lines. But we do have PBO who's going to be going live about incident response for the IR family for the 853 at 8 o'clock Central Time. So we have about 45 minutes to just dig through some of the different resources. We have a whole resources page that you might not know about, and then just kind of break down like my take on some of those different resources and some of the other stuff that I've come across as well. Because there's also things that I've found more recently that I probably should throw up on there. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's already hopped in. Let me go ahead and transition this over and we'll get the ball rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up first. Actually, let me go ahead and share this other one. So a large majority of what I'm going to cover and some of the stuff I'm going to break down is going to be on our resources page. So that is just a curated list of some different things that are pretty useful, both free and paid, a lot of different communities like you see on the screen right here. A lot of this has to do with GRC, but then also coinciding with cybersecurity, or there's a couple other things that are in there as well, that all flow within GRC itself. And so if you haven't already, I would definitely take a look at that. And I'm going to break down some of these different things here that I have on this page. So to start out with, first of all, there is the SimplyCyber website. So simplycyber.io. And if you guys don't already know about SimplyCyber, you really should go check it out. Welcome to the party, Mike and Regine and B-Dubs. So SimplyCyber, if you go to their homepage there, I dropped a link in the comments here. So like I said, I just want to go through some of the different resources, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to condense this down into a video, like a 3-minute video on YouTube itself. I just figured doing it in a live format would be useful. And then also PBO is going live here in 45 minutes, and we can transition over there as well. Now, the SimplyCyber website here, so simplycyber.io, what I would recommend is to scroll down and you'll see this calendar here. And that's what I run off of. Is so not only are they doing their daily cyber threat briefing at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 days a week, but then also they have the jaw jacking that's lined out. And then they also have like, you could see here, like on the first Friday of every month, they have the live AMA inside of the Discord as well. And then also they're doing like panels and so forth, like every Friday. So all kinds of different stuff that they're doing like every single week. So Monday through Friday, filled out. You can add this to your Google Calendar down in the bottom left if you wanted to. Another thing is if you go over to their YouTube channel, that's where all this stuff actually happens. So definitely go through and subscribe. And you can also go ahead and hit the bell right here and change this to all, so you actually get the notifications when anything gets uploaded. So that's by far the biggest one, if you guys haven't already seen that one. And second of all would definitely be Professor Black Ops. He's given us so much of his time. Something that I feel like a lot of people don't already realize with Professor Black Ops is that he has all of these different playlists on his YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the direct link to this as well. And so the big benefit with this, he has so many different videos. He's covered a lot of the different stuff. He has over 780 videos so far, but his government compliance for cybersecurity is a big one. So if you go to this playlist on the right-hand side here, then you'll go through and see all of the primary things that he's covered. All kinds of FIPS, Zero Trust, what is NIST. He talks about STIGs in this one too, CGIS, the IRS Pub 1075, which is the main one for the IRS for cybersecurity compliance. And he breaks down a lot of this. We have the 171, CMMC, all kinds of different stuff just in this compliance playlist right here. This is just one of many of the different things that he has to offer. And then also, like I said, he's going live here at 8 o'clock Central. So we have a little less than about 40 minutes before we transition over there. But also he has like so much other stuff. So every single week he's going live every Tuesday, and then in the meantime he's also going live on Wednesday nights as well. So like Tuesday is like his he's going through the family groups for the 853, and then on Wednesday nights he's going through and talking about like AWS. So you could see here, like last week he talked about S3 storage. Tomorrow he'll be doing guard duty, which is a big thing, especially in the GRC realm for AWS. If you're not aware of that, that would be a great one to catch tomorrow. And then, like I said, he's talking about incident response tonight for the 53 family group. And so this is a great resource, especially to put into your like weekly catalog of things. Another thing that I don't feel, there's all kinds of different vendors that are out there and they provide all kinds of different resources. I particularly really like the stuff that Risk 360 puts out. So if you go to, again, to their playlist, this is where the majority of the value is here. They have all kinds of different stuff on their website as well that you just have to like provide your email and so forth for. They are a vendor. But they have all of these resources. So we have like the ISO basics, SOC 2 basics, high trust, PCI basics, healthcare compliance. They have 31 videos on healthcare compliance alone. All kinds of different stuff here. They had a governance one in here too. Yeah, leadership and governance. I've gone through this entire playlist for leadership and governance personally. And then I've kind of weeded my way through some of these other resources here. So let me go ahead and drop this as well in the chat. Hey, welcome to the party, Rhonda. And for those of you who are just now tuning in, I'm just going through some of the different primary resources. I was going to do a recorded video and publish it on YouTube, but then I figured, hey, PBO is going live here shortly. I'll just hop online for a little bit, share some of the key resources, and then I'll condense that down into like a 3-minute video and publish it separately later on. I think some of this stuff, especially like Risk 360's YouTube channel here that's on the screen, I don't feel is really shared around that much. It has so much value on here, but I haven't really seen it like shared around that much. And so this is another big one that I would take a look at. And then I'm going to go ahead and transition over here. So, and then now we're back over to the resources page. So this is our resources page on our website. And I'll go ahead and drop the link to this one too. All right. And so on our resources page, as it states, it's not a complete list, but a general collection. So we have our different Trello boards. What's so useful about our different Trello boards here is that you can go through and do filters. So like a personal favorite is going to be that NIST CSF 2.0. And so I'll go ahead and pull that up on the screen here real quick and show you. And so this is going to be pretty similar with all of the different Trello boards that we have. But one of the biggest benefits with this is that you can go through, you can duplicate this board to your own account, first of all. If you have any issues, let me know. But you can not only search everything, but in Trello, you can go up to filters. You could search for something like firewall, for an example, or whatever it is, and then it's going to pull it up. So let's search for like DNS, or let's see, policy. So like these are the ones that actually mention policy keywords inside of the card itself. We can go through and you could do all kinds of stuff with this. You can go ahead and line out like a checklist if you wanted to add a checklist for questions. During interview process, you could add attachments. I did look at Trello before on whether or not you could utilize this as an all-in-one product to manage your framework, your program. For the most part, it should be fine, except it does depend on your environment, of course, and so forth. I look at this as a educational thing, like if you're learning the framework itself or want to showcase it. However, you could go through and put pretty much everything in here, including like interviews and so forth, except for the findings, just, for that security standpoint of it. But they have all kinds of different useful things in here in Trello. And then also we have several of these. So we have it for the CIS, the CSF, the 53, the 171, which is also CMMC. I do have to work on that CMMC side of it, especially with the recent updates. And then also now we have the PCI one in here as well, which is getting more and more stuff added to it as we speak. Let me double check here. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop this invite link. So if anybody else wants to come up and share any particular resources or otherwise, definitely let me know. You can go ahead and click that link, join the stage, and then you can go ahead and share it. In the meantime, though, so like on our resources page here that I shared, we have like the exposure management course through Gerald. So Gerald did the actual course itself, taught it, but it's hosted with SimplyCyber. And the exposure management, let me go ahead and open these up too, so we can actually take a look at it. So what is exposure management? It goes through, gives you a really good introduction. One thing I really like about Gerald is his academic background. He is a professor, teaches professionally for many years now and so forth. Plus he has the background to back it. So I really like his teaching style. But this is a free course. So I know some people were having issues with registering with a personal account, but especially for the amount of value you get out of this. I mean, if you're going the GRC route, there's not really a reason you shouldn't have this completed. This is a really, really good introduction. All right, let's see. Yeah, exactly. It's completely free. Let me play with this real quick. Oh, we have a Halloween one now. It's a little late. All right. Yeah, and so the exposure management one is free. You'll see here that we have our Trello boards and then we have the free stuff. Level effect, this is actually one that I probably should take out, to be honest with you. So level effect did have like a 3-part series for free, for no cost. So it had the IT fundamentals, cybersecurity fundamentals, and compliance fundamentals. I do believe that it's still available on YouTube, although they've transitioned this over to a minimum payment amount. So before you could pay $0 for this entire thing, but now I think it's somewhere, they've transitioned it into like SOC 100 over here, which I believe is like a minimum of like $30 or something along those lines. I've gone through the course and so forth, and I mean, it's not bad whatsoever, but it's the video content that's really useful. And they provide the videos for it as well. So I got to go back around and take a look at that and see what the updates were, and probably revise that because I have it in the free section right now. But my understanding is it's like a $30 minimum now or something, which would still put it in the paid category. Let's see. Yeah, they have like a Halloween music track background. All right, and so that would be the cybersecurity foundations. Then we also have the free GRC training course with Steve. So what this is an email course. And so in this email course, you just register with your email. There's no strings attached with it actually. And you just get like an email like every couple days or something like that, or like a couple a week. And it goes through on, just some different key takes for GRC, how to self-study with it, tips and advice related to it. Again, it's completely free. There's no strings attached with that. You could always unsubscribe from it or otherwise. But I think this is a pretty good one too, especially when you're first starting out. Oh, hold on. Let me see here. So I didn't actually share the screen on that. So this is the shared screen for that. So CPA to Cybersecurity is Steve McMichaels. And so this is what it is it's a free email course that you can go through. And so you can see here that, let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So like day one, what is GRC? Why is GRC awesome and underrated? What is cybersecurity GRC? 2 to 4 times faster by getting immersed. So like he's talked before about like I think I might be off on it, but I think it's like the 70-20-10 rule or something along those lines. Can we actually? Yeah, he has another article about it. I believe it's, yeah. So here it is, the 70-20-10. Experiences is 70%, relationships is 20%, and then education only makes up approximately 10%. And that's like based on like a Harvard study or methodology of some sort. But he does break that down really well as well. And so that's one of the resources that we have on here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, welcome to the party, misty-eyed, by the way. So I was going to go through and do a recorded video for like some of the different resources out there. And then I figured, oh, PBO's going live in about a half hour with the 853 Incident Response Family Group. And I figured, oh, might as well just go ahead and go live, see how everybody's doing, share some resources out there, and then I could always condense this down later on and put it into like a 3-minute video on YouTube itself. Quite honestly, like I don't really go live that often when I feel like it. So like we have our meetings on Thursday nights. But I mean, I feel like going live streaming at least 2 or 3 times more than that. Just, I don't schedule those ahead of time. So I figured might as well. All right, and then we have like the RMF online introductory course. And so this is directly from NIST. This has been shared around before. And so if you look at this on the NIST website, I got to remember to keep dropping these in the chat. And so I don't know if I necessarily agree with introductory course per se. What it is it's like a video walkthrough. So like they have like, I don't know, 90 slides about the like for the introductory to RMF. And then there's audio over it as well. And so it is very, very dry content for these courses. However, it does give you a really, really good understanding. There was one that I also saw that was like for the NIST CSF tiers. And, you know, it is definitely beneficial, especially if you're not familiar with it whatsoever. Like this is a pretty good resource to go to. But even now, like assessing security and privacy control, and you do get a course certificate of completion as well, which is pretty neat after you go through and finish it. But see, like I'll go ahead and pop this open real quick. So
Welcome to the introductory course for NIST.
So this is like the 853A introductory course that they have, and see, it's just a bunch of different slides that you go through. I do believe some of them have like quiz questions and so forth as well. And this particular one is only 44 slides, but it is kind of dry content, but it's still valuable. It's still a really good resource to have. I think I got that one in chat. Yeah, I dropped that one. Oh yeah, misty-eyed. That's my intention, is I figured with PBO going live here shortly, I'll just go ahead and go live now. But it will be condensed down to like a 3-minute YouTube video as well for some of the like biggest resources. And if you guys have anything else to share too, you guys can drop that into Discord. So we have a new live stream chat that you guys can drop links into that will also make it into the YouTube end. So if you guys open that up, I think that's a pretty good resource. Most of these links that resources that I'm going through is like a collection of mine, and then we're working our way down here too. We also have like the SC900 by Microsoft Learn. So like the SC900 is a good one for the GRC side, but it's really important to note too that all of Microsoft's training stuff on Microsoft Learn is free, as far as I know. So the whole SC family, the AZ, they have all kinds of different free training on there. The training's free, and then you have to pay for the exam. So it's way more than just the SC900 on Microsoft Learn. And then there's also like Fed VTE, which I see get shared around a lot too. I kind of feel like there's like a love-hate relationship with it, because it can be pretty dull, pretty numbing as well, dry content to an extent. However, they do have like cybersecurity risk management, and they have several other related things. Like there's an entire course on there for like third-party risk management or otherwise. Oh no, you're perfectly fine, Space Tacos. Oh yeah, yeah, Rhonda. I'm sure you've taken a look at that. Yeah, that FedVTE site. I've uh, I've looked at some of it before too. Let's see. Let me transition this back over. Yeah, and so I was talking about this Azure SC 900, and then the fundamentals for cyber risk management for FedVTE. And then now we get into like the paid stuff. So there's like Gerald's course for the GRC Analyst Masterclass. That one I feel you guys should really be familiar with as well. But just in case, the key thing with this is that this is for introduction. So this is to get you started in the GRC realm. And like I said, I really particularly care for Gerald's because he's an educator, he's a professor, he does a very good job at explaining different topics in an educational format. And so like he starts things out with like, what does a GRC analyst even do? He talks about like identifying risk, actually goes through like SOC 2. He has a guest come up for that one. He breaks down a lot of the different key things that you should be aware of getting into the industry, and really gives you, it's a primer course is what I would say. What is Cybersecurity Risk 104? So, he went ahead and split this up as well. And then there's several different projects that you have the option to complete along the way as well. Also, one of the best things is towards the end, getting, so section 6 here, getting a GRC analyst job. Then he also goes through and discusses like setting up your LinkedIn account, your resume itself, the interviewing. He has a 16-minute video all about interviewing itself. And so there's a lot of that job prep as well. Oh yeah, misty-eyed. That's actually one of the benefits with Restream is that, at least for me, everything comes into one chat, but it should relay everything to YouTube as well. So the only problem with YouTube is it won't let you guys post links in there. So you would have to post that in the Discord side. But oh yeah, yeah, Space Tacos, you're ignoring us, and B Dubs is feeling it. It's just like the daily cyber threat briefing. It's actually pretty rare that I actually go through and miss the whole thing, but I'm usually just listening on audio only. So, all right, and then coming back over here. Now, then Gerald also has the Cybersecurity 101, which is amazing. Honestly, I like the Cybersecurity 101 course more than the Sec Plus material. So I already had the Sec Plus at this time, but he goes into way more detail, and then there's also more coverage on some of it as well. So like some of the interesting stuff with the Cyber 101 course, like malicious software, identifying like malware and actually describing what it is. There's also espionage. That's a whole thing as well. There's one in here for like cyber warfare that he discusses at length as well. And the way that he goes through and explains a lot of these different, more complex topics, I feel he does in a really, really good manner. What is vulnerability management? Why should you care? Here's the cyber as a military. But yeah. So what is cyber warfare, and why should you care? And then history of cyber warfare, advanced persistent threats, EPTs. And so that's one of the big reasons why I really like the Cyber 101, is because of the depth of it and the way that he explains the topics. I think they're also doing a sale right now too. So like the price for this is $249. One of the big reasons why I still feel like that's reasonable is because he is an educator. This is designed to be like a full 12-week course or something. Yeah. So it's designed to be a 3-month course. But also right now, if you check on LinkedIn or something like that, there's also like a 30% off for the Black Friday or deals or whatever that I saw going around on LinkedIn. Let's see. I don't know how long that's active. Yeah, Rhonda. So like Rhonda mentions going through and taking the Cyber 101 after the Sec Plus. Yeah, I really wish that he already had that course when I was studying for the Sec Plus. I think it would have really helped me out, especially that cryptography is a harder subject of mine, just because like understanding the different concepts and memorizing what's what. Um, the way he explains everything is way better. Yeah, I think I saw something about like a 30% off for the SimplyCyber. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and look it up real fast because I'm pretty sure they already posted it on here. Oh yeah. Yep. So let me go ahead and share this. So SimplyCyber Academy is having, so until November 30th, Black Friday sale, 30% off of everything. And it looks like you use code HOLIDAY30 at checkout for that 30% off. And I could go ahead and post a link to this as well. Let's see. I did take the Google Cybersecurity certificate as well. I mean, I kind of feel I did like so I already purchased my voucher at that time, so I couldn't use the discount code. However, one of the biggest things that I do like is the support that follows afterwards. So like I was able to get like a $1 referral. So I paid for Coursera for like $1 for the first month, and then I knocked out the entire Google Cybersecurity certificate in like less than 2 weeks. Mostly because I'm just a cheapskate about it. But one of the things that I don't think people talk about is like you get access to you get put on like a recruitment list, you get access to like big interview, you get access to like a couple different like threads and sources to assist with job readiness. They have an entire section on practicing for the interview, setting up your resume and all of this other stuff. And that's the biggest thing that I like. Like I still have access to the big interview, which is I don't even remember how much that costs, but I think it's somewhere in the range of like $200 for like 6 months or something. And you get that access just by completing that program, which I think is a huge benefit. I really like the additional support that they have with the Google Cybersecurity Cert. I feel like it only really covers like maybe 40% of the Sec Plus, but especially if you're studying for that Sec Plus, yeah, I would 100% agree that taking that Cyber 101 and that Google Cybersecurity certificate would be great. Oh yeah, that's actually really good throw out there too, Rhonda. Making mind maps. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cryptography and networking are the two different topics that just are not really my strong suits at all. Like I kind of want to go off and take the Net Plus just so that way I push myself to do so. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and then also you get that 30% discount from, so if you complete the Google Cybersecurity certificate program, then you also get that 30% discount towards the Sec Plus voucher. And also another thing that people might not realize is that there's also a Credly badge if you obtain both of them. So let me see here real quick. So I had to personally message them about it, but I thought it was pretty neat. Let's see. Where did I put it? I don't actually have it on there anymore. Let's see. All right, so like this is my Credly thing here, and so one of the unique things is that if you obtain both this Google Cybersecurity certificate and then you follow it up with the Sec Plus, which by the way you get that 30% off, like Space Talk was mentioning, but then you also get an additional Credly badge for completing both of them, which I think is really neat. I think that looks pretty nice. I just like collecting Credly badges personally, but that's me. They just look good. I just like having badges. At least they're digital, but you know, it's something extra, I guess. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just checking out the chat here. I don't think I've heard of that before, Rhonda, as far as like the mind map thing goes. So I think I used something like drawl.io or something along those lines. I actually have it on this resource page. So I'm going to go ahead and jump through a couple of these. So we still have about 15 minutes before we transition over to PBO stream. But so like some of the different groups and communities that you'll also find in here. So we talked about SimplyCyber and Professor Black Ops, Jack Scott, Outpost Gray. They have all kinds of stuff. Not only do they have like the Two Cyber Chicks podcast that is ongoing still, but they have all kinds of different stuff in their backlog that they've already published on YouTube itself. And then also Jax is always posting different interesting things, especially in like the AI side of things, like AI governance and ethics. I feel like she's really made herself like an industry expert in that field for, you know, like a SME for like AI governance in particular, especially with how new that field is. And then we have like the GRC audit trove. So the audit treasure trove, it's a Discord server, which is owned and run by Space Tacos actually. And so we have the Discord link here that I'll go ahead and copy over here in chat. And so that's a personal archive from her study time and different resources she's come across. And like she'll state is it's not necessarily that active per se, but there's all kinds of different resources. She has it categorized by like topic, domain. There's a whole mental health section. There's a lot of different, literally hundreds of different resources in there. And they're a really good place. Like when you have a question, like let's say you're trying to look for SOC 2, you could just go to that server, search for SOC 2 in that server, and then find all of those resources or any particular subject itself. Let's see. And then we also have the Cybersecurity Champions of Tomorrow. So they have their Eventbrite website here. And so what they do is they do a workshop once a month. So it does kind of vary on when it's at, but they typically do it once a month here. And so I know that they were going to transition over to their own website, but let's see. Doesn't look like they have anything active now. I know that they took a break in October, but I was attending all of their stuff like since like January or something along those lines. Yeah, so they don't have any upcoming now. I got to find out whether or not they have finally converted over to their website itself. Yeah, so like their Champions of Champions roundtable was this morning at 1:30 in the morning, 1:30 Central Time, AM. But you could see like some of the past ones that they've done is like IAM Essentials, Incident Response Essentials, Human Firewall, Bridging the Gap. That was a really good one for the Human Firewall. Safeguarding Privacy. So this was a really good one that I looked forward to was they did several different speakers that worked in the realm, and like they had a privacy lawyer from Australia that talked about like the landscape itself and some of the different struggles and how it's kind of changed over the decades, which I thought was really insightful. And they also dropped tons of resources as well. And that's one reason why I have it on our resource page here. Yes, that is correct, Misty Eyed. So if you do got a drop or otherwise, you're good to go. But this will stay live. I won't delete this video at all. You can always come back and watch the recording of this video later on. And then probably this weekend, I'll drop the 3-minute video covering some of the primary resources. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop this link to, so just so you guys know, so this is what I'm going to transition over to here in a few minutes. So here in 12 minutes, PBO is going live for incident response and 853. And so I'm going to drop this link now for you guys, but I'm going to end a couple minutes before that and hop over there. Oh, it looks like Misty Eye is going for the Sec Plus here in a couple weeks. Bam. Yeah, not a problem at all, Misty. Thank you for hopping in. All right, let's see. Cybersecurity Central. So this is another one that I don't feel gets shared around enough. So if you guys are let me go back here. So it looks like the link that I have is actually no longer good. But so some of you guys may not be aware of this, but it took me a while being in SimplyCyber before I realized. But so Kimberly Can Fix It actually owns and operates this. And so this is a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Cybersecurity Central, and it's cybersecuritycentral.org. Now, the really cool, awesome thing about this website and why it's on our resource page is because they have their resource page. So if you head on over to their resources page up in the top right, then you'll see here that they have one of the best directories for cybersecurity out there. So they have the daily cyber threat briefing, they have the Black Hills information security, anti-siphon, jacks up here, some of which I've already discussed already. You'll also see here like career pathways. So they have all these different links to websites to assist you in your career pathway. And so like, I think CyberSeek is one of the ones that I've looked at before. And so like CyberSeek here is a really cool, interesting thing because like, it should let me, yeah, so you can see right here, like I'm in North Dakota. And so it says here that there's 979 positions open as of 2024 in the state of North Dakota. Now, out of those roles, then it breaks it down. 751 of those is oversight and governance. 497 is design and development. So it breaks it down based on category and then also what they're asking for. Like even the certifications here. So like these are the certifications in the state itself. But this gives you really, really good insight, especially if you're in the job market. You can also see like where things are hot. So like Texas, 36,000 job openings is what it states. Now, I don't know how often this stuff is updated, but you could also narrow it down to like federal level data, state level data, and all kinds of different stuff. It still gives you a lot more information that may be beneficial. And so that's CyberSeek here. But that's why Cybersecurity Central is on the resources page, is because of all of these resources. And then certification training videos, they have a whole category here, all kinds of career videos. I see they have Joe Hudson up here in the top. But then also, yeah, so like here's Zach for the 2022 roadmap. So like Zach does a job hunting, like a hacker, like video series. He has like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. He just did another one the other day. He does it all the time, where he goes through and talks to you about how you could like use OSINT and job hunt like a hacker. I highly recommend checking that out. But yeah, so especially for the cybersecurity side, Cybersecurity School has a huge archive of resources. All right, let's see. All right, and then we did talk about CPA to cybersecurity earlier. So he's got his YouTube channel and the website. Some of my personal favorite books here. So we have Gerald's book, The Cybersecurity Career Master Plan, and then InfoSec Survival Guide by Black Hills. So this needs to be updated too, because they did recently update it. So this is the volume 2, and they recently came out with volume 3 now. Let's see. So I believe it's under the prompt. Yeah, so you can see it right here. So I'm going to drop a link to this directly. because this is an amazing resource. Like if anybody asks me like, oh, I'm interested in information security, where should I start or what should I do? Like this is what you should be handing to them. And also if you're an educator or you're teaching in schools or kids or anything like that, you can also reach out and they'll like send you, a few dozen books for no cost. And you could read this online for free, or you can also order paper copies for, I think it's like $1 a piece to cover the shipping aspect of it. Oh, you just got the Sec Plus mic? Bam, congratulations. Yeah, and like Space Tacos mentioned is, that's Kimberly Can Fix It page. I've shared around like the Cybersecurity Central website before, and it's honestly a little surprising to me because I feel like it's not shared around enough. Like everybody should know about it by now. Let's see, and I dropped that link in there for that volume 3 one. And then also Cybersecurity First Principles by Rick Howard. So that is a personal favorite as well. So he goes into really good depth about like the history of information security and cybersecurity and how the industry has been over many years. And so this is the same Rick Howard that does the CISO series. And then he also talks into more depth about like so cybersecurity has never actually been defined. There's never been a first principle, like an overreaching principle for cybersecurity that's ever actually been defined and accepted throughout the industry. And he talks in depth about like what could be a first principle for cybersecurity and also why that fails and why there isn't one. And I think he gives like 5 or 6 different examples within the book on top of all the history. I think like the first half of the book is all about the history of cybersecurity and information security. That is a really, really good book that I highly recommend. And then some of the different cool tools here. So like Obsidian, Taskade, Perplexity. Gerald just did like a shout out to Perplexity the other day. I think it's really catching off even more and more. It's really good for studying especially. And then we also just did a video with CISO Assistant as an open source GRC tool that you could just run on your own computer. Some of the different bookmarks here. So I Heart NIST. So all of the NIST publications, that's a great place to look too. You could just search by keywords. This is the tool that I used before for like mind maps. Let's see. So you could see here, so this is the layout of it. And I feel like it's really straightforward. And so I'm going to drop this in chat too. And this is a free resource for making mind maps and different graphs and so forth. Different diagrams. You could do networking diagrams and all kinds of fancy stuff if you wanted to. I know that Rhonda mentioned one earlier, but this is what I was talking about that I've used before. Oh, yeah, welcome, Albright, by the way. So, yeah, also while you mentioned that, so Albright mentioned that they solved the CAPTCHA in the Discord server. So we do have, I would say, a few people that have joined the Discord server but haven't made it past the CAPTCHA. There might be an issue solving the CAPTCHA potentially on iPhone devices, maybe. If you do have an issue with that, I did put a message in that channel, but if you have an issue like completing the CAPTCHA in your verification in our server, just like shoot me a message, comment on one of our YouTube videos, something along those lines, and we'll get it figured out. Just reach out to us. Yeah, and one reason why I like that app.diagrams.net website is because you could access it from anywhere, and it's completely free. It just runs in JavaScript, and it makes it really easy. And then you can connect it to, like, I think there's like OneDrive and a couple other options. Let me reload it. So you can connect it with Google Drive, OneDrive. You could save files on your device, and so you could even, work out of a cloud storage if you wanted to. I find it really useful, and it's easy to move from one device to another. Let's see. So that's the diagramming tool. Oh, we only have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to do like a fire round here. So again, we're going to move over to PBO's video here in a moment. So he should be going live here in a few minutes. I'm going to drop that link in chat. And I'm just going to knock a couple of these other ones out. And then, like I said, I'm going to do a recorded video and publish it like this weekend, aiming for about 3 minutes or so. Now we have like the data privacy map. So that's really, really good for knowing like your data breach notification law. So like North Dakota, for an example, you can just click on the state that you're in and it gives you all the pertinent information that you need to know about as far as privacy goes and like breach notification. Ready.gov has some different templates and so forth, especially for small business. Plain English.gov provides you like resources and guidelines to make sure that you don't use too much legalese in your policies and procedures and guidelines and so forth. And then there's also some different feeds here too, including like the newsletter from SimplyCyber, which comes out every Monday morning. There's also the complete InfoSec from Taggart Institute, which I personally use all the time. So I feel like this one works really, really well. So that's one of the big ones that I use daily. There's also like corporate compliance insights, and then there's also some like particular videos that I feel are really useful. Like Erica McDuffie went through and did like GRC like a boss, InfoSec job hunting, which is the one that I had talked about before, and then how to sell security to C-suite levels. And then we also have what is GRC and what it's like. So this is a playlist actually. I'll drop this in chat. So this is actually a playlist that I created on the Study GRC website, or I'm sorry, the Study GRC YouTube channel, where I took some of Gerald's videos. I also took some of the videos from the Level Effect courses that they have on their YouTube channel. There's a little bit of PBO in here, and also another one from Wild West Hacking Fest, actually, from 2022. And I feel this is a really good intro to that GRC aspect. And now with that portion said, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. All right. And let's see. Oh, all right. Perfect. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and drop that in Discord or otherwise. I'm going to go ahead and drop over to PBO's live stream that should be starting any minute. And then I will see you guys on Thursday. So we'll still be streaming on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And this week we'll also have Chris on talking about ISO, which is a really, really big one. And then this weekend I'll get another video out that's only a couple minutes in length to go over some of the different resources. But I hope to see you guys over there in PBOs. You guys have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week.